In this video, I'm doing a commentary on a match between Bob Zavoral and Tatsuya Tanaka from the 2023 Chicago Open Club World Championships. Thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Please put in the comments below what you'd like to see in future videos, and I'll work on that. Thank you to everyone for joining me. Thank you to Bob and Tatsuya. This is from the 2023 Chicago Open. This is the Club World Championships. It's a team event, so each team has 3 players. Bob's team is with Joe Russell and Ian Terry, and Tatsuya's team is with Michihiro Kageyama and Dennis Culpepper. This is run by Rory Pascar, friend of mine. He runs an outstanding event. They shake hands. Bob is playing the black checkers at the top and Tatsuya the yellow checkers at the bottom. Bob opens with 6-5. This is a 9-point match. So 3 players on a team and they play each other. And whoever wins 2 out of 3 moves ahead. This is being played on a beautiful Backgammon board. This is one of their leather boards. They don't have them for sale on their website, but I'm waiting for them to do that. I really love the Backgammon boards because they have this unique mag fit technology where you can change the surface. So it's like having a new board. I have a wooden one, which is great, but the wood ones they're heavy, so they're a little hard to transport. I really want to get a leather board that makes things easier, and these would be perfect because I really enjoy the variety. So they're working on the clock. I wanted to thank Ace Point Backgammon and Bill Riles for allowing me to use this video for the commentary. And I know some people really enjoyed the XG feed on previous videos. I will try to do that in future videos as much as possible. It's a little hard to get the transcription files for the long matches, but if you have one and you'd like me to do one, let me know and send it to me and I'll take care of that. I will try to do a post-match analysis of some of the positions. So here we go. Now it's actually an 11-point match. Tatsuya replies with a 4-2, making his 4-point, and now 3-2 for Bob. He has a heavy stack on his midpoint, brings 2 checkers down. And Tatsuya rolls a 6-1. So he can make his bar point. He's looking at possibly hitting to prevent Bob from doing something on his side. That's a tempo play. No, he does have 2 back checkers stuck. So that's what he does. It duplicates a lot of the aces that make his 5-point, like 3-1, 5-1, 6-1, double 4. Bob dances. So that turned out well. Now Tatsuya rolls a great double 6. He brings 2 up, 24-18, and probably he'll cover his ace point. That gives him a 3-1 board advantage. 25% chance that Bob will dance, and then he may even be too good. Double 6, Bob does dance. So now Tatsuya has some real threats. He has a 3-point board, 9 checkers in the zone, and shots at the 3 and 4. He decides to double. Bob is cleaning his glasses. Bob's a good friend of mine. We play in the online Chouettes. He lives in the Chicago area, and he's a very strong player. I'm not too familiar with Tatsuya, but from what I've heard is he's a strong player as well. So Bob passes that one. Bob lives in the Chicago area, and he's well known not only for his skill in backgammon, but also he makes really beautiful boards. And I'll put a link below. His boards are really nice. Makes nice leather boards. Now, game 2. Tatsuya opens with a 4-1 splits. Tatsuya is ahead 1-0 or 10 away, 11 away. Bob rolls a 4-2 reply, making his 4-point. Tatsuya rolls a double 5. Good roll. You can do a lot of things. Yeah, escaping 1 checker is nice. And then for the other 2, he can make his 3-point, but that would just strip the 8-point and leave too many elsewhere. Now he does have a stacked structure, So Bob rolls a 6-4, and he escapes, putting in front of the reduced midpoint. So with only 3 checkers on the midpoint, it's hard for him to attack. Now Tatsuya rolls a double 6. This is a good roll, but it's a little hard because his position is stiff and inflexible, so we call brittle. Well, this is not really brittle, but inflexible because he has those 2 stacks. Michihito Kageyama calls them mountains, Michi, on the 6 and 8 point. Hard to really do anything. You know, you'd like to make the bar point, but then you're left with a blot on the bar point, so he can bring all 3 down and play 24 to 18. He can make the ace point on head. He can bring 2 down and play 8 to 2, making the 2 point, but that leaves a double shot. So he decides to make the ace point on head, and Bob dances again with another double 6. Now Tatsuya looks like he's well ahead in the race. He's considering doubling. You can see in the lower right, there's Rory Pascar in the stream. In the lower right, they have the scores that are updated for the team. So he doubles, Bob passes, he rolls. I think he thought that Bob took. Bob's giving him a look. He realizes that Bob passed and scores it. Yeah, he passed. There was some confusion. So you can see the scores of the other teammates in the lower right. Great job by Bill and Tara and his team there. Now 2-0, they are using the ace point scoreboard. That's my favorite scoreboard. I have one myself. It's very high quality, compact. Bob opens with a 4-3. It's good to make the minor split with the 4-3. That gives you more numbers for your next roll on the other side. Now 6-5 reply by Tatsuya. He runs. Now Bob rolls a 6-1. He's able to make his bar point, and he does have that 6-1 formation with 5 checkers on the 6 point, and his 8 and 7 stripped. Tatsuya rolls a 6-2. Good roll. He's able to escape and hit, sending a 3rd checker back for Bob. Now Bob's on the bar, rolls a 5-4. He's able to come in and hit another checker. That was a good roll, productive. Now Tatsuya is coming in from the bar. Double 6. He dances. Now Bob has the initiative. He rolls a 5-3. So he can make his 4 point. That's what he does. He has 10 checkers in the zone, but he does have that awkward stack on his 6 point. Now Tatsuya comes in with a 3-2. He has a big stack on his midpoint himself. He is outboarded 2-1, and he has his 3-2 to play. Not very productive. Probably going to have to come in and hit 6-4 just for a tempo. Now Bob is rolling from the bar, double 2. That's a great roll. He comes in and hits on the 21 point, and he hits a 2nd checker, putting 2 on the bar against the 2-point board, leaving a blot on his board. Now 5-2. Tatsuya comes in with both checkers with a 5-2. Now Bob rolls a 5-2 of his own. This is what happens when you have that awkward stack on the 6 point and everything else is stripped. He'll probably just have to make the ace point behind Tatsuya's back checkers. Tatsuya is originally from Japan, and there were a number of Japanese players that came to this event, or at least 2. Tatsuya and, of course, Michi. Everyone knows him, one of the best players in the world. He's written multiple books. Definitely recommend his books. They're really good. One of them is Back Checker Strategy, which talks about what kinds of things to do as yellow here. So Bob does make his ace point. He does have a 3-point board. Now 2-1 for Tatsuya. So he's going to make that anchor. Good idea against the 3-point board. He could have hit, but that's kind of dangerous. Now Bob rolls a double 6. Good roll. Oh, I think he thought it was a 6-4. So they pause the clock. He moves it back, realizes it's a double 6. So with this double 6, He's going to bring 20 to 8. And then you can come out all the way. Gives him a 4 shot, but then he'd have to break the anchor. And he has an awkward stack on his midpoint. Now 3-1 doesn't hit, but at least it makes the 5-point. Good roll for Tatsuya. His biggest liability is now his stack on his midpoint. Bob rolls a great 6-5, escaping his last checker. And now 4-3. He is able to hit and continue to safety. I guess he's looking at unstacking his midpoint, but you really have to be careful when you're outboarded 3-2 and also ahead of the score. Gammons favor the trailer. Now Bob's on the bar, rolls a 6-4, comes in and comes out to the 15-point. Tatsuya rolls a 4-1. So I think he wants to leave the back checker there because he's far behind in the race. Gets to unstack and maybe 8-7, just giving himself more builders to make his next point possibly. Or he plays 6-5. 8-7 will also slot his bar point so that he can make it. Now Bob's looking to possibly double. He's looking at the race. $112. 150. 32 pips ahead. Doesn't have an anchor. He can get blitzed. Bob does have a 3-point board, but that's a very big lead in the race. I don't know what Tatsuya needs to take this. Even if he rolls a double 6 on his next turn, he'll still be behind in the race. And Bob has a number of good rolls that can point on head. 3-1, double 1, double 3, double 4. And many numbers to safety the blot on his 15-point. You can go with a simple 2 or a 7 or 9 or 11 or higher. A lot of good rolls. While Tatsuya is thinking about this, I'm going to get some water. Be right back. All right, back. Sorry about that. It was muted. Now we're back. Looks like Bob's bringing it home. Tatsuya just rolled a 6-5 from the bar. Now he comes in and just comes out to save the gammon, way behind in the race. Now Bob's just bringing things home with a 6-5. I may have come in with the 6. That gives you a double 3, but no big deal. Double 4 for Tatsuya. So it looks like it's going to be 2-2, 9 away, 9 away. Or Bob may actually win a gammon here because he's ahead so far in the race. Maybe going up 5-4. Five two takes off two checkers. Now Tatsuya really wants to come in. That's a good roll for him. Brings two checkers down, gets two crossovers, gets the third crossover, slots the 4 point, wasting an extra pip, but that does slot the 4 point in case he needs to roll a 4. Double five, great roll for Bob. Now his gammon chances are looking good. 5-1 comes in with the 5, and 8-7 with the 1. Tatsuya is going to need probably a double to be able to save the gammon, or maybe two. 5-2, not enough. He's going to need Bob to roll two aces, and he doesn't. Gammon is gin, so he concedes the gammon. Bob goes up 4-2, which is 7 away, 9 away. The away score is always more important than the absolute score. The away score is how many points each player requires to get to the goal of the match length. In this case, it's 11. So Tatsuya is at 2. 11 minus 2 is 9, so he is 9 away, and Bob is at 4. 11 minus 4 is 7 away. On to the next game. Now Tatsuya rolls an opening 3-2, brings 2 down. Reasonable play when you're behind in the score, but I think the major split may be slightly better at the score. In any event, Bob rolls a 6-5. Good roll for him. He escapes. Now 6-2. Tatsuya makes his 4 point. Good roll. That's part of the purpose of bringing two checkers down, and his checker on his 11 point still bears on his 5 point, which is good. Bob rolls a 6-1 himself, making his bar point. Now he does have that 6-1 formation. 6-4 for Tatsuya. So makes his bar point, which is nice and blocks the back checker. But when you have two checkers stuck on the 24 point, you really want to avoid stripping your midpoint. 3-2 for Bob, brings two checkers down, trying to form a blockade himself. Double 3. So he's going to make his 5 point. He can make his 3 point. He can bring two checkers up. That's a good play because those two checkers are getting trapped. And he makes the rack, the 4, 5, and 6 points. Bob rolls a 4-2. Could make his 9 point, but then he'd be leaving a direct 6 shot. He does safety like that, but now his position is very inflexible with that big stack of 6 checkers on his 6 point, and all his other points are stripped. He's going to have a hard time finding a productive roll on his next turn after this play. But sometimes you really have no alternatives because Tatsuya has a 3 point board and a solid 4 prime with the back of the prime slotted. So Bob has to be careful. He does only have one checker back. When you do have only one checker back, you want to kind of play conservatively, not leave more blots, and really try to bring home the last checker without having another checker sent back. He's taking another look. He could also play 11-7, 10-8, like that. That's a really nice play. I mean, he is still stuck in the back, but now he has spares everywhere. He has a lot of productive rolls in the future. I think I'd probably make this play myself. So he is looking, thinking. And he does decide on this play. Tatsuya is considering doubling, isn't he? And he does. And Bob instantly passes. All right, so Tatsuya gets a point. He goes to 3. Now it's 4-3 in favor of Bob. So he leads 7 away, 8 away. 8 away is a very valuable score. Anytime your score is one of the values of the doubling cube, it's really nice because if you win a doubled gammon, you get to the 4-way score, which is very valuable. Now Tatsuya opens with a 4-2, makes his 4-point. Bob rolls a 2-1, brings one down, splits his back checker. Now with a 5-3, probably 13-8 and split the back checkers. Does bring 13-8. Good idea. You really need to balance offense and defense. Bob's going to try to make a point, so you want to split those back checkers. And there he makes his 5-point with a 3-1. So it's nice to have those checkers split to be able to make an advanced anchor. Just like that with the 5-3. He's able to anchor and bring one down. He could play all the way, but this is better. You don't want to leave that back checker stranded. Brings an extra builder to his 8-point. Now Bob rolls a 5-3 of his own. Comes out all the way. Duplicates the 4-3 and the 3-1 and 5-3 to hit. Now 5-2. Tatsuya can hit. Now Bob has good 4s from the bar. You see how he cannot come in with a 4, but 6-4 is not good. He dances. Now Tatsuya has some threats. He has 10 checkers in the zone with nice spares, 2 spares each on his 8 and 6-point, and he's shooting at the blot on his 10-point with 4s and 3s, and he only has 1 checker back. Also, other rolls like double 5s can point on head and make another point. And he should be well ahead in the race as well. So he's looking at that. One thing to always note is anytime you have cube action, every turn is a doubling decision. So you should always consider that. And when you want to consider doubling, you want to look at the position, see where everything's at, look at the entire board, see how many checkers you have back, how many your opponent has back, look at the race, how far you're ahead, what kinds of threats you have, the strength of your board, a lot of different things. So after some deliberation, he does decide to double, and Bob instantly passes. So now it's 4-4, 7 away, 7 away. Now it's essentially a 7-point match, 0-0. Five-2. Bob brings a checker down and splits his back checkers with a 2. Tatsuya rolls a 6-2. Gotta go all the way. Splitting is nice, but against the 5-2 split, you should run all the way. Now 5-3 for Bob. He's able to use those spares to make his 3-point. Now Tatsuya rolls another 6-2. He's able to escape his back checker, make his 16-point anchor. That's great for him. Bob rolls a 3-1. He can make his 21-point. He could have made his 5-point, but he wants to secure the anchor. 6-5 for Tatsuya. May have to just play behind. No, he could have made that 5-point. I don't know. I wonder, maybe I'll do that position analysis later. Could have made that strong board. Now 6-3 brings one down and slots his 5-point. 6-2 for Tatsuya. Might have to play 8-2 and then leave a 7 shot. That's only 6 numbers with 13-11. That's what he does, especially good with the blot in Bob's board. When you're 7 away, if you hit, you're not able to do anything with the rest of your roll, so he can't hit and cover here. If you're 8 away, sometimes you can do that with double 4s and double 2s. Now he rolls a 6-4, makes his 2-point. Now he has a 3-point board. Another 6-2. Not a productive roll. You see, when you have that anchor on the 16 point, it's hard to really do much to try to safely escape, especially when Bob has his anchor on the 21 point. He just plays 11-4 behind, 11-3, sorry. Now with the 6-2, Bob brings one down from his midpoint to make his 5-point. Now he has a 4-point board. Tatsuya wants something to clear that 16 point. He doesn't get it. He rolls a 4-3. He has to be careful because Bob has a 4-point board and he only has a 2.5-point board. So he doesn't really want to leave a blot. 3, covers and plays behind, creating a dilly builder on his 2-point. 2-1 for Bob. He's going to slot his 4-point. Now 5-1 for Bob. I'm sorry, 5-1 for Tatsuya. So he can make his ace point. That will give him a 4-point board, and that'll do something with that dilly builder on the 2-point. I think the ace has to be there. And the other thing he can consider is playing 13-8. That's nice because he would have that builder in case Bob tries to escape, but he chooses to make his ace point. Now 5-3. Bob can make his ace point with the 5-3, saving a 6 on his 8-point. So he won't have to break. The other option is to run all the way. I think he's just looking at the race. Now, Tatsuya rolls a 4-2. Now, he's going to have to leave a blot somewhere. My friend John Rockwell says showtime when you have to leave a shot. So it is showtime, and now Bob can hit with a 3 or a 2-1. Does not get it. He gets a 4-2, can make his 4-point. That's nice because it doesn't kill a checker. Little tight fit across the board with 6 checkers. 5-2. Another unproductive roll for Tatsuya. He could play safe, playing 7-2 and then 3-1. And then Bob's going to have to do something. Alternatively, he can keep his board, clear his 8-point, still leave that 3 shot. But then again, Bob can't hit and cover. He could hit and lift. It's like he's looking at the safe play. And that's what he chooses. Bob's taking a sip of his beverage. Now he's on roll. 6-1. He can make his board. Otherwise, he would have to abandon his anchor and leave blots without having a full board. Now Tatsuya does have a double shot. He can hit with 4s and 1s, and he can cover with 5s. He rolls a 5-3. He's trying to be careful against that full board. He does clear, leaves a 7 shot, so Bob has 6 numbers to hit. 6-3 is not one of them. So he'll play from his midpoint, most likely, unless he wants to split, which may not be bad because Tatsuya has all those blots. And he's going to have a hard time coming home. He's looking at that. Is he counting the race? $90 to $86. He's down 4 pips in the race. Tatsuya has those checkers on his 1 and 2 point extra ones that will make his bear off a little bit less efficient. Now he's looking at this play. That gives Tatsuya 3s and 1s to hit his checker on his 15 point and 5s to cover. So rules like 5-3, 5-1, even 4-1 can hit and cover. However, yellow will have some bad numbers on the next roll. So when I look at this, I count the numbers. So I kind of count from the top and go down. So I start with a non-doublet. So like 6-5. How would 6-5 play for yellow? Not so good. So that's a bad number. How about 6-4? 6-4, he can make his bar point. What about 6-3? 6-3, he would be able to hit, maybe hit twice, but that's kind of dangerous. Not a great roll. So this is the kinds of things you want to do when you're looking at these things. How do your opponent's numbers play after your roll? And you can do this with the dice distribution feature on XG. So if you're analyzing a match later, or if you're playing a game against XG, you can see the dice distribution feature and select 2 options and right click and go to dice distribution. It'll show you how each of these plays play based on the opponent's following roll. So he goes back and he decides to just play 13-4. Now Tatsuya's on roll. He rolls a 4-2. That's a productive roll. He can make his 9 point. That blocks Bob. Good roll. Now Bob's on roll. Try to escape. 3-1. He cannot. He'll probably have to clear like that. He could have also split, possibly kept his full board. Now 6-2 for Tatsuya. Probably just clear the 8 point, unless you want to play 13-5, leaving a direct shot. I don't know about that one. He could also play 9-3, making an extra board point and slotting his 7 point. But again, that does leave a shot. Looks like he's doing the safe play, reasonable racing chances. Doesn't want to get hit. Now 6-1, Bob's forced to play the 6 there. And he's going to lift. So he duplicates the hitting and covering 3s for Tatsuya. Double 1. Good roll. So he can pick and pass 6-4, 4-3, putting a checker on the bar and making a 4 point board, and then likely just 2-1 without leaving too many blots. If Bob dances, he'll be in a pretty strong position. 3-2, he does. Now he doubles, instant pass. Now he goes up 5-4. 6 away, 7 away. I was mentioning Bob's boards. He really makes some beautiful boards. They're really high quality. I like how he has the space for the double rack in his checker trays. That gives more space for cubes, and he has a slot for the cups. You can store them in there. Really beautiful. If you've never played on a Bob Zavoral board, definitely recommend looking into it. So now Bob rolls a 5-3, opening in the next game, makes his 3 point, and Tatsuya rolls a double 5 in reply. makes his 3-point, but now he has 10 checkers in the zone and Bob only 8. And Bob with a 3-1 makes his 5-point, give himself a 3-point board. Really want to be careful of splitting checkers when the yellow has an attacking position. So he rolls a 6-1. He was looking at making his bar point, but he hits, which is better. Now 5-4 comes in and hits. Doesn't quite need the anchor yet. He can send another checker back, send Tatsuya off balance. Now with the 6-4, he's forced to come in with the 4 and probably come out with the 6. Bob rolls a 2-1. Good roll. Comes down, hits, brings another checker into the zone, bearing on the 4-point. 5-3. Tatsuya dances. Bob immediately doubles. Does have a strong position with a 3-point board, 3 builders for his 4-point. He does have 3 checkers back, and Tatsuya has a 2-point board of his own with 10 checkers in the zone for a possible counterattack. You really need to think about all these things. What's going to happen on the next roll? So if Bob makes his 4-point with a roll like 4-2, 6-2, 6-4, double 4, a double 2, and then Tatsuya dances, he's lost his market. But there are a lot of other variations where Tatsuya can come in and anchor. He'll possibly have a game, especially if he can roll like a 2-1. Bob has broken his 8-point, so that's not so bad. And Bob still has those 3 checkers back. All right, Tatsuya decides to pass, gives Bob the point. Now it's 5-5, 6 away, 6 away. Four, 3 for Tatsuya. Does the minor split. 5-3 for Bob. A lot of players would instantly make their 3-point, but we really have to see you can hit on the 16-point. And that's what he does. Good play. Now Tatsuya comes in with the 5-4, comes in with the 5, and hits back on his 9-point with the 4, 13-9. Now Bob's looking to come in from the bar. He rolls a 4-1. You really want to fight for the good points. Come in with the 4 and play 6-5, hitting that checker off the 20-point and unstacking the 6-point. 6-4. Tatsuya comes in with the 4. Doesn't have a good 6 from the bar. Might have to play 24-18, or he can play 13-7, or he can play 9-3. Chooses 9-3. Now Bob has a 2-1. That's a great roll because he can hit and make his 5-point. Now he's in a commanding position. 6-3. Not a good roll. Comes in and out to a 16-point. Now Bob is trying to hit back. Cannot with the 6-2. He can run all the way. Could have played 13-5, unstacking a 6-point. Not much to worry about. Now Tatsuya rolls a double 5. So he can hit. Good play, and then remake his 8-point, or he's looking to make the 3-point board. Okay, so he does that. Now Bob does have 1 checker back, 5-4. He comes in and hits with the 4, unstacking his heavy midpoint. Now another 6-4. That's what happens when you have deep points and then you start getting multiple checkers sent back. Get into an awkward position. Now Bob can hit with 3s. They're duplicated on both sides. Decides to roll the 3-1. Oh, he's looking at that. He could hit and make his 9-point. That would be really strong. I think that's what I would do. You get to unstack the midpoint, make another blocking number, send another checker back. Good play by Bob. Now 3-2. So he can come in and hit or make the 3-4 anchor. Or he can come in with a 2 and advance. You really don't want to make the 3-4 right now, playing a sort of a back game. Doesn't have enough timing. And he just does the tempo play. Good idea. Those back checkers are split. That gives him flexibility. 5-1. Bob rolls a good number. Comes in and hits with the 5 and safely plays 6-5 with the ace. Now 5-4. He's forced to come in with the 4. Probably just pop out with the 5. 23-18. All right. Now Bob has a double. He doubles here. And Tatsuya passes. Really hard to bring those checkers home when you've made those deep points, especially the ace point like that. I'll have to look in the position analysis about that double 5. See how that was. I think I would have remade the 8 point and played 16-11 myself. Bob gets a point, 6-5, 5 away, 6 away in favor of Bob. Next game, 6-4. I think I'd play making the 2 point, but this is reasonable as well. When you're behind, or even at even scores, you want to make the 2 point with an opening 6-4. Now Bob replies with a 6-2, hitting on a 16 point. 6-2 by Tatsuya comes in with a 2, makes his 18 point anchor with a 6. 5-3 for Bob. He gets to escape his back checker, making a 16 point. Bring it to safety. Double 4. Well, the checkers on his midpoint are blocked. He can make 2 interboard points with 8-4 twice and 6-2 twice. That's good. Gets to unstack his 6 point. Double 6 for Bob. That's a good roll. 16-4 twice. Double 3 for Tatsuya. I think he's behind in the race. 13-7 and then 13-10 for his final one. That gives him a lot of numbers to make his 5 point on his next roll. Double 6 again for Bob. Some good, some bad. Good for the race, but it breaks his 8 point, disconnects his midpoint from the rest of the army. Now 3-1 comes in with a 3, and he can make his 5 point. Bob's going to have some bad 6s, like 6-2 and 6-4. 6-4, it's forced. He leaves the shot. That's what happens when your checkers get disconnected, but Tatsuya dances with a 4-2. Now Bob's on roll. 6-3, it's forced. Now Tatsuya rolls a double 5. He's looking at the race. 92. I think he's behind. And he plays to maintain contact. If Bob rolls like a 6-2, he leaves a double shot. 4-3. 2 checkers off. His 6 point. He could have also tried to just bring one from the midpoint, but that would strip it and give him awkward 6s. So now with the 2-1, he's going to want to make a point. But if he does some sort of a shifting play, he'll be able to get more builders, like 8-6, 4-3, brings in a checker. Or he can play 20-18. Three. He's down big in the race, about 30 pips or so. Yeah, that's a reasonable play too. He didn't have to shift. He could have just played 10-9. Now he has 3 builders to cover. So now Bob has 83 pips. 113 pips for yellow. Now 3-1. Pick and pass. Good. Knocks him off balance. If he dances, he may have a double here. 4-3. Now he has a double. Tatsuya is way behind in the race. When you think about this, you want to think about the market losing sequences, and that's a 2-roll sequence. First by Bob, second by Tatsuya. A lot of people don't think about the second roll. That's actually discussed in Dirk Schieman's book, The Theory of Backgammon. So the second roll would be Tatsuya's roll. If he dances, then that's not good. Bob will have likely lost his market. In terms of the first roll, Bob has some good rolls. Double 5 will clear. Double 4 is great. It'll make his 5-point. What else? He just has a huge racing lead. Doesn't like those dilly builders. I think there's 3 spare checkers on the 2-point, 1 on the 4-point. But what's Tatsuya going to do? Even if he comes in, he's so well behind in the race. How much shot equity does he have? He does take. Bob stepped away for the moment. Also, passing would allow Bob to get to the valuable 4-way score, so there's more of an incentive for him to take. Now Bob rolls a 6-5, comes in, that's forced, plays 13-2. Tatsuya is coming in from the bar, and he rolls a 4-2, he dances. So now, lost his market, 4-2, so he's got to bring 2 checkers down. Now 5-4 is duplicated, 5-2, 1-4, and 2-1. He dances. Bob's in the driver's seat. Rolls a 6-2. So he'll probably play 11-3. 6-2. Tatsuya dances. 5-4. Bears off a checker. Off his 9-point. Double 3, Tatsuya dances. Double 5, it's forced. 2 to the ace-point and bears off 2 checkers, leaves a shot. If Bob wins a gammon on the 2-cube, he'll get to Crawford, but he can't quite yet. Tatsuya comes in with the 4-3, hits and covers. 5-3, 6, 8, 9. Now Tatsuya has a redouble and Bob has to pass. That was a great sequence for Tatsuya. So now he goes up 7-6, 4 away, 5 away. 4 away is a valuable score because the double gammon will win the match with perfect efficiency. The match is to 11 and you win exactly 11 points. That's efficient. If you're in a situation where you end up with 12 points or 13 points, that's called overage or wastage. It's points you didn't need. So that's inefficient. Bob rolls a 5-1, splits his back checkers and brings one down 13-8, 4-3. He's going to make the major split here. 3-1. Bob's able to make the 5-point on his head, unstacks the 6 and the 8 points. 5-3 comes in with the 3 and the 5. He can't play his back checkers. 13-8. Now Bob's looking to hit with a 5-3 or double 3s or double 5s or hit in the back. He can hit the other checker too. He's looking at that, but he's looking at pointing on head. Strong roll, 3-point board. 6-4, not a good roll, but at least he comes in. Comes in with the 4. Might have to make the tempo play, but Bob's looking. When he stares like that, he's thinking of doubling on the next roll. You can see him rubbing his chin. He's looking away. These are all tells. You'll learn these things by watching people play. He's thinking, what can I play so that I can take? If he does play 8 to 2 hitting, it does duplicates Bob's entering twos to hit and twos to hit on the other side from 6 to 4. That's what he does. Bob was waiting for that. He just redoubles slowly. And he passes. So that was one of the benefits of making the 3-point board with a 5-3 as opposed to hitting and sending another checker back. With that stronger board on the next exchange, you have some strong doubles. So you want to keep that in mind. What's going to happen on the next exchange? Will you have a double? Now it's four-way. Very sensitive score because each player can win the match with perfect efficiency with a doubled gammon. 4-2 for Tatsuya, and double four is a great reply. Double fours is always a great roll. Early in the game, he makes his 20-point and his 9-point very strong. Now double four for Tatsuya, and it evens things out. Does the same play, 24-20 twice, 13-9 twice. Now 6-2 for Bob. He's going to play two behind and slot his bar point. Now 3-2 for Tatsuya. He can hit and continue. Nice play, having a stronger board, 2 to 1, and Bob has a blot on his board. 6-1, not a productive roll. He's forced to come in with the 1, and then he comes out. Six, 4. He can hit, and he does have a stronger board. Bob has a blot on his board, does give some return shots, but Bob has a blot on his board. It's going to be really hard for Bob to cover and hit. Only, I think, double twos. Well, he rolls a 5-4, comes in with the 5, and makes his 4-point with the 4. Tatsuya is looking to escape his back checker. He can, but it will leave a double shot. He can play 20 to 15 and then 11 to 9. Now Bob can hit. If he leaves the back checker there, he can attack with 1s, 3s, and 4s. If he comes out to the 15, then Bob would likely have to break his midpoint to hit. Or he's looking to do that and just bring 2 checkers down. Okay, so now Bob can hit with 2s on the other side and 1s, 3s, and 4s. He does roll a 6-2, so he hits and continues. Sends another checker back. That'll be a good one to take a look at on the position analysis. 5-2 comes in, anchors, and probably 6 to 4. Double 3 for Bob. So he can't move his back checkers. He does make that blocking point, plays 6 to 3. Now he's considering whether to make his 3-point or safety the checker 12 to 9. Would only give him 6-1 and 5-2. 4-3 would be blocked, but he plays safe. Now 4-3 for Tatsuya. Not a productive roll. 3-2 for Bob. He'd like to make his 3-point, but then he would have to leave a blot. So he just plays to his 4-point. Tatsuya's on roll. Looks like a relatively even game with both players owning their 20 points. 5-2 makes his ace point and plays behind 4-2. 6-5. So he's looking at clearing his 8-point. He's looking at possibly running. He is outboarded 3-2. Both players have a blot on the board. If he runs, that would give Tatsuya 3s, 4s, and 6s to hit. Or he can cover this way. breaking his 9-point. It's kind of nice because it blocks the 5s and 4s on Bob's side of the board, and Tatsuya doesn't have great 5s and 4s on the other side. Now he's blocking 5s and 3s. And with a 5-3, he can clear his 11-point. He rolls a 4-1. Not a good roll. He's going to have to leave something. So he could clear his 8-point or his 11-point. Looking at clearing his 8-point, I think that's what I would do. Just minimize the shots. And at least that somewhat duplicates the 4-2, which could make the 2-point. And he does roll a 4-2. If he hits, he doesn't have a productive 4, but he can play 10-6. He does have a 3-point board. Tatsuya has a 3.5-point board with the blonde on his board. And Tatsuya has an anchor. Now 6-3, he dances. Now Bob's looking. You have to think about how many gammons you win here, because a double gammon wins the match perfectly. And if Bob's able to make a point, like his 2-point, or even his ace-point, that'll increase his gammons, more likely for Tatsuya to dance. And if Bob can bring home a gammon, they'll be able to win the match with perfect efficiency. And then look at yellow's side. Yellow's structure is very brittle. He doesn't have spares anywhere except on his 4-point. He's going to have a hard time bringing his checkers home. Looking at the race, too. Looks like 110. And he does take relatively quickly. He was thinking about it while Bob was thinking about it. So now Bob rolls a 5-4. Safely plays 10-6 and just brings that checker out, gives him some outfield control. Tatsuya is going to want to come in, and he does with a 5-3. But this is what happens when your structure is stripped. It's a brittle structure. He's forced to come in with a 5, and he doesn't have a good 3. He's going to have to leave a shot somewhere. Likely, oh, he's going to play behind. Okay, so he's going to have to sacrifice that spare. Now double 1. He could just make another point in his board, making it more dangerous for Tatsuya to leave blots. 4-2. Not a lot of good options. He could minimize shots by clearing his 11-point, or he can come all the way out from 20 to 14. And that leaves 2s, double 1, 6-3, and 5-4 for Bob to hit. If you do enjoy these match commentaries, please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified next time I do one. Please put in the comments below what you'd like to see in the future videos, and I'll work on that. Hope to have some other people join on the commentary. We've had that before. So he does play 20 to 14. Bob's looking to hit. Try to win a double gammon for the match. 6-3, that does hit. Good roll for Bob. Now 4-point board. He's a 5-4 favorite to come in, but he dances with a 6-4. Now Bob rolls a 4-3. Plays the 3 there. 11-8, brings another spare checker from his 6 to his 2-point, trying to make his ace point, make a 5-point board. Tatsuya dances with a double 4. Now Bob, 3-2. Just brings it to safety, trying to bring it home. Now they have some spectators. I see Ian Terry. That's one of Bob's teammates. Double 1. He comes in, has the goalkeeper back there, and he's looking to come in safely, trying to save some gammons there. That's what he does. Not sure what Bob is looking at. Does he realize that it's his role? He has already doubled. And 3-1, just plays 8-4. Tatsuya rolls another double 1. He's looking to make his 2-point to at least give himself a 2-point board in case he does get a shot. He won't have a blot on his board. Double 2 for Bob. That's a great roll. He's looking at bringing 3 in, or he's also considering shifting to put a checker on the bar. So that's the 2, 8-4, and he's looking at shifting there. That does put Tatsuya on the roof, on the bar, so he has chances to dance. That'll increase Bob's gammons, which is great at this score. Or he's going to play the same 8-4 and then 8-6 twice, put that checker back. Okay, and that's what he does. 4-3 for Tatsuya. He's looking to possibly slot his 5-point to make it, or just come in safely. Six, 5, that's forced. So 6, and he hits with the 5. Now Tatsuya is looking for a 1. Doesn't get it, dances with a 3. Bob's happy for that. Double 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Wants to keep that spare on the 4-point. Now Tatsuya rolls a double 1. Late. Yesterday's number. 2-1. So now he'll probably play 6-4 and bear off a checker. Nice. Now only 6-5 leaves a shot. 4-1. Tatsuya dances. 4-2 for Bob. Just clears. Prepares to clear his 6-point. Bears off a checker with the 4-2. 5-3. Tatsuya comes in with the 5. That'll save some gammons. And he comes out to his 17-point with the 3. Now Bob rolls a 2-1, bears off 2 checkers, bearing off aggressively, trying to win a doubled gammon for the match. Tatsuya rolls a 6-2. He can make his 5-point in case Bob rolls a 6-1 or 5-1. And it's only wasting 2 pips and gets 2 crossovers. Double 4 for Bob. He's going to bear off 2 checkers for sure. And he's playing 6-2. Or is he going to try to bear off aggressively to try to win the gammon? 4, 6, 8 checkers left. If he makes this play, he'll have 6 checkers left. So then you're going to want to look at the crossovers for yellow. Yellow has 2 crossovers to bring the back checkers out, and then 3 crossovers to come to his outer board, and another 3 to come in. So that's 8, plus he'll need another one. So I think that's the right play, trying to win the gammon. 6-1. Comes out. Now Bob's trying to win the double gammon. 6-4, good roll for Bob. Clears. Now Tatsuya is going to need big numbers to try to save that gammon. 5-2. He'll want to get 2 crossovers somehow. And that's how he does it. 5-3 bears off 2 checkers. 4-3. I don't think he can do it. Looks like Jin. And he concedes. They shake hands. Congratulations to Bob. He's a member of the team, the Loose Ones, with Joe Russell and Ian Terry, who eventually won that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified next time I do a video. In the comments below, please let me know what you think, what you'd like to see in future videos. Thank you again to Rory Pasquar for directing the Chicago Open, and Ace Point Backgammon and Bill Riles for allowing me to use this video for the commentary. And I'll see you next time.